Hello and welcome to NSK's PV Power Hour for July 22nd, 2017. My name is Yoshi. This is a podcast about Japanese idols brought to you by NewSchoolCotton.com, and I'm joined always by Charlie Draco Cadden. What's up?
That's me.
It's you.
Flashback to the 80s.
Yeah. I'm going to be talking about some idol PVs that has very direct and obvious references to 80s idols, and let's start there. First up, Terashima Yufu, Watashi o ryoko ni tsuretete. Take me on vacation. So,
Hmm.
uh, this is what you hinted at. It sounds like if you've ever heard of Matsuda Seiko's Aoi Sango Show, which is one of her most famous songs, this song is basically a homage, a tribute to that song.
A sample.
It might as well be a cover. It's incredibly similar in every fashion, and I would not be surprised if the original writer or whoever owns the copyright to the original song of Aoi Sango Show would come after whoever wrote this one and be pissed about it, and I would not bat an eye.
Yeah. I mean, vocally, musically, it's very similar.
Yeah, like specifically at the chorus is the way it leads into the chorus with the strings playing a fill and stuff like that. And the melody for the chorus sounds like if you were to maybe rewind, or not rewind, but play the original Aoi Sango Show melody backwards or something like that. I don't know. It just seems like it just feels way too similar for some reason.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you listen to the original or to Seiko's,
Yeah,
it there's it's clear
yeah,
that that's basically the same song.
yeah. Um, yeah, even if it wasn't a very same sounding song, I don't think this one is anywhere near as catchy as the Aoi Sango Show.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's not very hooky. I don't think the hook is very good. I don't think Yufu's vocals were ever good. So she really isn't showcased here vocally. While
Yeah.
Matsuda Seiko was a pretty good singer. She wasn't the best amongst the idol singers, but she was one of the better ones. So
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have the energy
yeah,
that Seiko had.
I think part of that is that Yufu can't reach those high notes, so she has to falsetto it, and it sounds weak as hell.
That's very possible.
That's what it sounds like to me. Like the entire chorus is sang in falsetto, and I am not a fan of that, technique unless it's used in very, I don't know, sparingly. So it's a little, yeah, off-putting for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a bad song. It's all right. It's
Mm,
just it's one of those that falls into the boring category
yeah.
for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I feel like I have to say a very similar thing about the PV. Although it is shot very nicely, Yufu looks great. It's if you're a fan of Yufu, this is the best PV ever because she looks fantastic, and you get to role play as the person that gets to take her out on a vacation to a southern island for a summer getaway.
What? Why do I can't place it? What's the video that they show at the start?
I don't know, maybe like a previous Yufu PV?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I can't place which one it was.
I haven't seen too much of Yufu stuff recently because they're either like 1 minute shorts or blocked in my region.
Mm-hmm.
From in the past couple years at least, that's how it's been. So like at least a year and a half, I would think. So I haven't seen anything by her in basically like a year and a half, 2 years, I think. So
Yeah. I thought we covered one of hers not too long ago.
yeah, if we did, I don't remember it at all. I have a pretty good memory with that, but I don't remember it. Yeah, I can't remember the last
Wonder,
time we talked about her.
wonder if it's Watashi ni Naru.
Yeah,
Kind of looks like maybe.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this PV is just Yufu getting ready for a vacation. She's packing her stuff and singing at the camera and then walking along the shorelines and playing at the beach and taking off her top. Well, not her bikini top, but she's taking off her shirt to reveal a bikini top. So that's your typical idol-ish PV, and she happens to be performing on top of a big ass luggage piece on the
Suitcase.
beach. Yeah, it's kind of fucking cool actually.
Yeah, it's like, where did they get that?
I to me it looks almost CG. It might be CG for all I know, but the background is beautiful and she looks great. I love the outfit she's wearing. Like everything's pristine and sterile, clean. All those words that you can think of to describe a very pretty location, and she has everything going for her in this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't find myself that interested in it, but I've never been a big fan of Yufu, so.
Yeah, yeah, I liked Yufu back in her Abyss days, and I was hoping she would be a little more, little less traditional idol music, and she's doing this, and
She went as traditional as possible.
right, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why she left Biss was I wanted to do something a little more traditional, basically. And
Yeah.
good for her. That doesn't surprise me when she was going through all that stuff with Biss performing in a school swimsuit in front of people and butt spanking events with a bat. It's I'm sure she wanted something a little different.
Yeah, Yufu is not at all anti-idol.
Right. She
So
basically embraced the idol movement.
I think she was kind of in the wrong group with this,
Yeah.
as far as at least as far as what she's done after this, anyway.
Yeah. It makes it clear that this is probably what she wanted to do from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a nicely shot PV. I like how the colors are very crisp. I love that she's dancing on a giant suitcase and her outfit's like blue and matches the really clean beach and ocean behind her. I visually awesome, but for sure like not that interesting, sadly.
Yeah. No.
But if you're a huge Yufu fan, this should be the best thing ever for you.
Yeah, and I don't that opening scene with the TV makes me wonder which if it's a previous video, because a lot of her videos have to be continued at the end of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it seems like maybe they're starting to use that.
Could be. Could be. All right. Anything
Which,
else?
yeah, would be interesting as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Go ahead and rate it.
I'll give this song a. I'm gonna give the song like a 70. Actually, the song and the PV both. They're both well done, I guess, as far as like the instrumentation and the video itself, but they're both very lackluster for me.
Yeah. I'll give the PV a 75. It's shot beautifully. It's gorgeous. I love the colors. It's crisp. Yufu looks fantastic. I love the locations and all that. Just there's literally no intrigue, and it's lacking in that department. But if you're not looking for intrigue and you just want a cute girl dancing in a cute location, pretty location, you have it. It's great for that. The song I'll give a 68. I think this song would probably be better if it wasn't sung by Yufu. I don't think Yufu's vocals are great. And yeah, never been a fan of her vocals, her voice. So yeah, it doesn't really do it for me. And the obvious homage to Aoi Sangosho, maybe two on the nose. That's Terashima Yufu, Watashi o Ryoko ni tsuretette. Next up, Tsubaki Factory, Warate. So they're telling us to smile for them.
Why did I think that meant laugh?
I mean, it's kind of interchangeable,
Okay.
but yes, Warate is more of an action verb type of thing, so it's easier to relate to laughing. I would say the first word that comes to mind when someone tells me to translate Warate would be laugh. Please laugh. It's a command to laugh. So yeah, they just went the smile route, I guess, which is fine. It's basically the same thing. So yep, it's it's not like the PV reflects the act of smiling that much. So
Not at all.
yeah, it's a funny PV. It's kind of absurd. They're doing random tasks with very blank stares and serious faces, and the PV reminds me of Anjuramu. No, it wasn't Anjuramu. It was Juice Juice. We haven't talked about Juice Juice in forever. Jesus, what the hell? Uh, Juice Juice's PV from 2 years ago. I think it was called Choice and Chance. One of my favorite PVs from that year, and
Mm,
one of my favorite songs from that year as well. Um, that PV had a very similar concept of members being completely straight faced and then doing menial tasks that make no sense with the context of the lyrics or the PV. So it's
yeah.
very similar. I tried to look up who directed the Choice and Chance PV, but that information was not made, public in the YouTube comments or the about sections. So, uh, yeah, it's absurd PV. It's surreal. It's like I'm looking at a Andy Warhol painting. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very very geometric in it too,
Yeah, a lot of shapes.
which I'm not sure how I feel about that. A lot of overlays in there, the shapes.
Yeah, I think the good thing is that it doesn't I don't think it distracts from the members because I don't think that's a focal point. I think the members are featured big enough in the camera shots to really not really deter you from, looking at the members and instead the background.
Yeah. No, it doesn't really distract from the members, but I don't find that again, it's just not that interesting to watch. I find it pretty dull to watch it. There's no
I am a pretty big fan of blank stares, no emotions, and singing the lyrics thing that some groups do, especially when it doesn't make sense, like with a song like this. It's one thing to do it if you're trying to be edgy and dark, but they're not trying to be edgy and dark. It's just a director's, idea of doing it, and it
yeah.
doesn't really have any significant meaning. They just do it, and I think that's why it's kind of out there and doesn't make sense. But in a way, I really don't care that it makes sense. I just like seeing the members a lot. Now I feel like I have a grasp of what each member looks like with this PV. That might just be from
Mhm.
watching Tsubaki Factory a lot recently, but this
Yeah.
PV, like I know what each member looks like. I don't know their names, but I know the faces. If I see their face, I'll be like, "Oh, she's in Tsubaki Factory."
Yeah. No, I can see that. It definitely does help with the facial recognition. Though the
Yeah,
one girl still reminds me of the girl from Country Girls.
yeah, the short hair girl, right?
No, the long straight hair girl.
Oh,
Um,
well, the short hair girl is basically the girl from Country Girls. I can't tell the difference.
she's got that really high forehead and the really long straight hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I think the short hair girl is your favorite girl from Country Girls.
I don't see Ozeki Mai at all in this PV.
Yeah, well, short hair
No.
girl looks like Ozeki Mai. So it's dumb PV. Doesn't make any sense. They're playing with like random shit, bouncy balls, hair dryers, and doing nonsense. And I like that. I think it's really dumb in a fun way.
Hula hoops.
Hula hoops, yep. The
The
girl
hula hoop
just
one is just
just
like,
moving the hula
what?
hoop, it's just really
Oh,
dumb. And
they're not even moving it around. They're moving it up and down.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I think it's funny and dumb. It's not trying to be funny, but it comes off as funny and dumb to me in an enjoyable way.
Yeah, I don't get that from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of find it very lackluster.
Mm.
Now, there's a few shots of them where they're smiling and trying not to, which I
Yeah.
find cute. But overall, I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah. The song is groovy. I guess say maybe disco. It's a disco
Yeah.
beat, and yeah, it's to me it's really catchy. It's not a Nakajima Takui song. It's not funky and groovy in that way, but it's got its own quirks that stand out, and I think the chorus is pretty fucking good.
It's got that horny sound to it
Yep.
a little bit, and it's
Mm-hmm.
got the I can't say Sunku vocals in the background, but there's definitely some vocals mixed in with the instrumentals that you can't really decipher what they're saying, but you can tell it's a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had to look to make sure this wasn't Sunku when I heard it.
Yeah.
His training has been very effective.
Yeah, I didn't get a Tsinku vibe from this. I thought it was a little more straightforward than what Tsinku usually does. It's not as out there. Tsinku, I think, reeks more of Tsinku. I can
Well,
definitely see the influences, but
yeah, it depends. Some of Sunku's like album stuff and B sides can be like more like this.
a little tame. Yeah,
Yeah, where the singles are the ones that are out there.
yeah. It's like obviously Tsinku. But
Yeah.
yeah, this one is I like it. I like it a lot. I quite enjoy this, and not probably not as much as Shukatsu Sensation from last week, but this is really good for me.
Uh, Geez, I don't even remember that one.
Yeah, you should go back and listen to it. It's really good. Anything else on this?
No,
Rate it.
I can't even say anything about the outfits there.
I like them. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, they're wearing flowers, so
Flowers in red, purple, blue colors.
yeah.
Yep, I like it.
I'm gonna give a PV a 73. It's just it's well shot and it's well done, but it's very bland to me. Um, the song I will give a 76. It's up there, but it's lacking a little something for me to really grab me. It's not catchy is enough for me.
Mm, I guess I'm gonna be the one that raves about it. I'll give the PV an 82. It's funny, quirky, goofy, dumb. It's not dumb like Ebichu, Momoclo Stardust kind of dumb. It is a contained dumbness that is enjoyable for me. It's not going real stupid. Very similar in goofiness to Shukatsu Sensation, I think. It's shot really nicely. I like the dumb things that they're doing, hair dryers, bouncy balls, and all that. Song, I'll give an 84. I think it's catchy, nice horny horns, good energy. It's funny how it's reflected on the emotionless singing that they do in the PV. It's quite the contrary. I think it's a pretty powerful song in its own right. So it's Tsubaki Factory Warate. Next up, more Tsubaki Factory. This should conclude their triple A side. This one is called Hana Moyo.
Triple A sides. Oh boy. I'm glad that Morning Musume stopped doing that.
But there are other groups that
Yeah.
do it for them, like
Yeah.
Tsubaki Factory or fucking Niji no Conquistador, which we will talk about as well. But yeah, it's I thought this song was Hatsukoi Sunrise. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It was very similar in style. It's got like electro synth melody line, and the PV was shot in a very white house, white indoor looking house. And I was like, "Am I
Yeah.
watching the right PV?" And I was.
I would hate to live in that house.
Yeah, trying to keep that place clean is probably a nightmare.
It's too white for me. There's way too much there for me.
It's too bright.
Because even the floor is white. Not,
And dude, the roof and the ceiling is glass. Imagine all the sunlight getting in, and it just
no.
stuff is just reflected everywhere.
No, I hate the sun, so.
Yeah, it's not probably not the most pleasant place to live in. Maybe for a weekend, like a beach house type of situation, probably really nice. But other than that, I think I'll pass on it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I like this song more than I do the other one.
You are crazy.
I
You are
get a.
straight crazy.
I said in Slack today I got 80s. This is more a 90s feel for me. Um, Thinking about it, I get a very 90s feel from this.
This seems like a Tsunku song from like 5 years ago. That's how I'm taking it. It's when he got really into electropop. This is like brainstorming part two.
But it's not Tsunku, so
I know, but this guy clearly learned a lot from Tsunku. This is a song where I said I could see Tsunku writing this. I knew it wasn't Tsunku, but I was like, oh, I could totally see Tsunku writing it. There's very similar stylings, I think, especially in how the kind of rhythms they used, instrumentally and vocally. So I feel like this
well,
guy studied Tsunku.
if I'm not mistaken, I liked Hatsukoi Sunrise more than you too. So
Probably, but I didn't dislike that song. I thought it was okay. I think this song is probably about the same as Hatsukoi Sunrise for me. I didn't go back and listen to it, but I don't remember it being too hot on it. I thought it was okay.
yeah, I enjoyed this one, and I think I like the video better.
You're crazy.
It, why?
Uh, there's no, there's nothing going on that I don't think is superior. Like, if you're talking, oh, the members look great. Okay, they might look great in the dance shots, but when it's the individual shots, everything's all bloomy. Some parts are sepia toned. It doesn't focus on them. It's kind of blurry. Doesn't look great.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's definitely Japan filtering going on.
there's way more colors in Warate. You can argue that the geometry and shapes and stuff was kind of stupid. I give you that, but this PV is basically all white, and then the only colors provided are the flowers. So I don't know. It's less intrigue than Warate. At least Warate, they're doing dumb activities that make you question who smoked what and where and why and how much of it. This PV is just I had no ideas and just shot it in this really nice house. That's the way it comes off to me.
I think I like the emotion though. I more in this one
Yeah.
than the lack of emotion.
I mean, this is they're not trying to be more emotional here though. They're just being themselves usually. Warate
Exactly.
was a clear directive from the producer, the director, whatever, saying, I want you to act like you have no emotions. And I think they added to the experience. This is just another PV to me.
I would say there's direction and emotion here because there.
Not any more than a regular ass PV. I don't think so.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I wouldn't say this is all just them being themselves.
No, like them performing as idols. That's what I'm saying. Like this is you show up to work and you do your job and you go home. That's what this PV looks like to me. They didn't really have to try. They train for this every day. They don't really train for sit there emotionless and don't smile. Like that's different. That's more work, I think.
Maybe, but that's not what I'm into idols for. So this is more appealing to me, and I like it more.
I like stuff to be a little different, so that's where our opinions differ.
I'd love.
I get this all the time. This is 99 PVs out of 100. So I have no like new feelings about it that I don't already feel.
You don't like their confessions?
No, I don't need to be confessed to by 15-year-old girls. That's weird. I'm good.
I'd love to see this actually played out, just so I could watch the embarrassment.
Well, they would have to hire extras, and we know Hello Project doesn't really do that
Not
very often.
anymore.
Well, Shukatsu Sensation did because that PV got it right. Ha! See? I can spin it any way I can.
There used to be a lot of extras with Hello Project, but not so much anymore.
Not since I got back into Hello Project in like 2012. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Anything else on this?
No.
Rate it.
I'm gonna give this song a. I'll give this a 78. I like this song a lot more than the others. The PV I will give a 75. It definitely has issues, especially with the filtering that's going on. But I think I like the acting, or the non-acting, as you would call it, better in this one.
There's no acting. They're not acting like anything. They're just being what they're paid to do is be idols. That's what it is. Uh, I'll give the PV a 74. It's shot nicely. I question the slight Japan filter blurring that happens in the individual shots. The only colors in the PV are the flowers, the white room, and the white outfits don't really do anything for me. There's nothing interesting really going on. It's just the members holding flowers and maybe two or three of them saying "I love you." And
They all do.
yeah, do they all? Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes just glaze over watching this. So yeah, no intrigue for me in this. But it's shot okay. The dance shots look way better than the individual shots. I will give the song a... Oh, wait. Yeah, song. 72. I don't think it's all that catchy. Energy's okay, but I don't really hear a hook, and I need that hook. So, that's Tsubaki Factory, Hanamoyo. Next up, where's Kenny? He's not here. Beboga. Yomoji Melody. 4-letter melody. What are those 4 letters? Probably Love. That's my guess.
Probably.
I mean, isn't that the whole point? It's like, 4 letters. It's love. Because it's a love song. We're idols.
Or maybe it's SEXY.
Ooh. Well, that's only one member. Perorin Sensei, as people refer to her. I'll call her Kaname Rin. But people call it Perorin Sensei.
There's a lot. There's some bikini shots going on here.
Of her only, no one else. Rayo says STFU is 4 letters. Shit, you're right. So is fuck. So, yeah, she's the only one that bears a bikini. She's done gravure work, so it's not really a surprise. No one else is in a bikini.
Yeah.
Speaking of not acting in PVs, the acting here is either horrendous or everyone had like dysentery and like was just diarrhea everywhere, so they had no energy. I don't know what is going on. It's just insane. It looks like someone sucked a life out of them. They look like they don't want to be there or understand what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, significantly. It looks like hard to draw a line between like amateurs and idols because a lot of idols are completely underground. Not that Beboga is, but they just look like someone picked them up and told them how to be an idol. And I never noticed this about Beboga, but specifically in this PV, maybe someone told them don't make any noise because you'll upset the neighbors or something like that. But the acting is just incredibly flat and no energy, and they look like they don't care. You can see it in their eyes. Their eyes are dead.
Hmm.
There's a specific scene where Perodin Sensei is waving from the balcony. She doesn't look like she's happy to see you or sad to see you go. I don't know why she's waving. I can't tell. I can't read her emotions. Why is she waving? Is she happy that someone's arrived? Is she saying hello to a friend? Is she saying goodbye to someone who's leaving from their location? I don't know because she's completely stone faced. I thought it was super odd.
I see what you're talking about.
And it's not just her, it's everyone, basically. The acting or pretending to not look at the camera, just, they look lifeless.
I can see what you're talking about, but I also feel that that might be some directing.
Why would a director tell them, hey, can you look dead? Like, not in a deadpan, like, jokey kind of way, but like, can you just look dead? That doesn't make sense. Like, Wadate, they're specifically trying to be deadpan. They're not trying to be deadpan here. It's a summer single. It's energetic. She's in a bikini. They're doing dumb shit. That
And
doesn't make any sense.
they're also crying on the beach.
Yeah, and it's not convincing.
But why? So
Uh,
yeah, I'm
I
not
don't, I
sure
don't get it.
I, I'm not sure it's no life, but I do see what you're talking about. They tried to make some of the scenes make their faces look more lively.
I don't get it. And there's bad lip syncing too. It just seems like
Oh well.
the performance aspect was just thrown out the window or something. I honestly don't know. It's
Bad lip syncing.
Yeah, it's very off-putting. And I thought, like, I've never noticed this about Beboga. Everything I've seen by Beboga, which is probably like 3 or 4 PVs at this point, I've never noticed that. This is the first PV where I said, what the fuck are they doing? They look like they just someone handed them a mic and told them to perform in this PV off the streets. That's what they look like right now. And I've never saw this.
I wouldn't say they're that bad.
It's pretty bad.
We've seen some that have been like that.
Yeah, I mean, Too Love to Sweet Bullet is that, but this is close. I think this is very close to that.
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple steps up from that, but
It's pretty bad.
uh, there's definitely some we've seen that have been that look like they're scared to even be there.
Yeah.
So
Well, they look like it's a nice location. It's like a southern island tropical looking place, right?
yeah,
Why would you not be hyped? It looks like they were like captured and taken as hostages and they don't want to be there at all. Like
maybe I don't know.
Purple, I don't think she smiled more than once in the PV. It's like what? It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I know she kind of seemed a little out of it.
And it seems like they just learned the song, like learned the lyrics in the choreography the day of, like, you know, many AKB productions do. Maybe that's why, I don't know, but there are other things that doesn't require that much work to show emotion in. It
Yeah.
just really odd. I'm very disturbed by this.
I guess I'm not seeing it come to the extent you are. But
Just look, even like looking at their dancing, it looks lazy and not crisp.
well, yeah,
It
I kind
just,
of saw that. It kind of reminded me of like Party Rockets or
yeah, Party Rockets have moments like that, yeah.
Baby Raids.
Baby Raids, I'm not sure. I feel like they're better at showing emotion than this.
No, the dancing.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
they're I get what I'm guessing is probably their performance outfits kind of remind me of Baby Raids. The ones on the beach with
oh, yeah, 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 I know what you're
the
talking about.
the
Yeah.
notes on them.
Yeah.
Those kind of remind me of Baby Raids
Yeah,
outfits
I
too.
can see that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Don't have much else to say about the PV, honestly. So you want to talk about the song?
Sure.
Sounds like a Beboga song. Up
Okay.
tempo, J rock, and really cheesy guitar riffs. My first guitar riff. You can buy it on tape for 10.99. It's yeah, it's a very safe, nothing too new, innovative. The chorus has pretty good energy. That's always been my thing with Beboga is the chorus always has pretty good energy, just not the greatest hook. So it's another one of those Beboga songs for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it at first listen it's like, yeah, okay, this is catchy. And then you listen to it again and again. I was like, yeah, I'm starting to space out now.
Yeah, I'm pretty whatever on the song.
Yeah. Well, the first time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, okay, this is, the instrumentals are pretty poppy and everything. But after listening to it a few times, it's just like,
Yeah, for me it
no.
was from the start. I just like, okay, oh, this is what we're doing, huh? Okay, that's sort of how I felt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Beboga does music like this, up tempo rock kind of stuff, so it's not a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah. I don't know who Nobe is, but
He wrote the lyrics for a couple of Niji no Conquistador songs. That might be the next one that we might talk about, but yeah, he wrote one of them or two of them.
uh,
I don't remember.
so he's doing the lyrics. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else on this?
No, it's just, yeah, it's a pop rock song that doesn't catch you.
Yeah, it's pretty flat. Want to rate it?
Um, mm, hmm. I'll give this song a. I'll give it a 73. It's not a bad song, but it definitely gets to be less enjoyable as you listen to it. The PV, I'm okay with it. It's pretty whatever for me. I'll give it a 75. I don't have any. I don't have the issues that she has with it.
I definitely have issues. I'm giving this PV a 50. I think this PV doesn't look good from the start. Aside from my complaints of emotionless performing, seemingly not on purpose. Aside from that, I don't think the PV looks good. The camera, the lighting is weird. It looks makes the footage look older than it actually is. This looks like 90s backyard wrestling kind of footage quality to it. I don't like the color. It's just not Japan filter, but it's not crisp. It just feels a little blurry. I don't know what it is, and yeah, the locations are cool, I guess, but they really don't take advantage of it. So that's Beboga Yomoji Melody,
The song?
huh?
You didn't rate the song.
Oh, I didn't rate the song. That's how much I really want to get away from this. I'll give the song a 68. That's Beboga Yomoji Melody. Niji no Conquistador, their sister group.
Hmm.
Jump.
or the parent group.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Not sure how they look at that one.
Yeah. So Niji AAA side. This is the second PV we're gonna talk about. The third PV we'll talk about next week. So stay tuned for that. I'm honestly gonna say I'll spoiler. Whatever we're gonna talk about next week is probably the best thing of the three because I don't care for this again. It's same as the previous week.
I haven't listened to the next one, so I'm not sure.
It's way better. It has more style, more it's groovy. It's not this very standard J rock song. That's we'll talk about the song, I guess. I
God,
don't.
I wouldn't even say I'd call this J rock.
Yeah, it is.
This
It's
is.
up tempo.
I'd call this almost like pop rock. This
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
pop
even
rock.
sure
Yeah,
this is.
yeah. I mean, it's safe as fuck.
Or
It's
I'm not sure about synth rock, but
no, I don't. I wouldn't say so. But yeah, it's just guitar, drums, and bass. Maybe a little bit of keyboard. It's up tempo, and yeah,
yeah,
and instrumentals are flat. I think the vocal melodies are catchy, but maybe it's the feel over the overall that I don't really care for. It just feels flat and not energetic.
I'm kind of wondering if that's not their choice of vocalist for this song.
Right, and I think my issue, I think the other issue is that as up tempo and upbeat as the instrumentals can feel, I think overall, I think this is supposed to be like a seishun kind of like a
Yeah,
slightly sadder tone. Like it's a fast song. It's not slow by any means, but I think it's supposed to be kind of like a heartbreak kind of song. Not that the lyrics point to that, but the feel of it seemed like it's supposed to be that way, and I don't think they can just pull it off vocally to I don't know.
yeah.
It it's supposed to be a more toned down melancholy sounding song and they're singing it as they would normally. It just doesn't match, I don't think.
I can see that.
But I do think it's catchy.
Yeah, yeah, and I enjoyed it, but I think I liked last week's better.
I completely tuned out last week's. I think I like this one slightly more than last week's. At least like the chorus I remember for this. I don't remember the chorus for the week before.
Is this? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It just seems very poppy to me. It doesn't. That's not it. Um, it definitely doesn't have the any sadness to it for me. But I definitely feel like it's supposed to be Seishun.
Right. I think I think the message of the song and I think the energy and the way it's performed is all kind of not aligning and it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I would have
I
preferred
can
it
see
if
that.
it was a song more about heartbreak rather than kisses and jumping, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
maybe this member sang it a little sadder, so it's pretty for me.
yeah. They'd have to have reshot the whole video too, because they're very happy at it.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of there's kind of a disconnect. They're just hanging out in Guam, basically,
So
sightseeing
you would rather have had more of a punk rock song than
to
a
to
than
the
a pop rock.
visuals. Uh, not necessarily. I just think this is a very not summer song. I think that's another thing. This song doesn't feel like a summer song to me. At least in like a tropical paradise kind of idea.
Yeah,
So I think it's there's a bit of a disconnect. I think this PV would have been better if it was in a very typical Japanese high school, and they're dressed as schoolgirls and maybe, confessing their love to their crush, and that would have been fine, I think.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah, I just don't think it matches with the beach scenery in Guam.
I could see that. Yeah, this is pretty much shot in the same location as the last video.
Yeah,
Except no bikinis.
you're right. So none of that. No less fan service. Speaking of
Yeah.
fan service, we'll talk about that next week. Shit, that thing is fan service galore. And
Mm.
yeah,
Now I'm
look,
gonna have to go watch it.
yeah, look forward to that, folks. If you're into that kind of stuff. And yeah, this is a very straightforward thing where the members are just walking around Guam and following a camera and a couple individual shots that are still. And
And
that's it.
using some 360 cameras.
Right, yeah, it's kind of funny. One of the shots where the member's holding the camera, it looks like her arm is like 20 feet long. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. It's
And it
funny.
looks like she's not holding anything, but her fingers are closed.
Yeah, it's
You,
it's funny looking.
you can't see the selfie stick or whatever they're using.
Yeah, it's a funny looking shot, but yeah, that's a completely unnecessary shot. There's no point to it because it
Hmm.
lasts 2 seconds, 3 seconds, once, twice, maybe.
I think twice, yeah. And
Yeah,
I think
so
it's
it's
different girls for each one, but yeah.
yeah, it's kind of pointless.
And the video is very Japan filtered.
Yeah,
I mentioned the tan girl, and you can't tell she's tanned at all in this.
yeah,
Uh, And that was one thing about last week's. I didn't have the Japan filter that this one does.
right. Oh,
So
this is the Seishun song, so they needed to
they
add the Japan
needed the
filter.
dream filter.
Yeah, of course.
Japan filter was whatever that filter is. We someday we might actually figure out what the actual name for it is, but
Yeah.
whoever created it was ugh.
Well, whoever popularized it, I think, is the bigger issue. Like using it sparingly for appropriate occasions is fine, but
Yeah,
it's not required as much as they use it, It's ridiculous.
definitely not.
All right. So anything else on this?
No.
Rate it.
Um the PV I will give a the filtering on this one bugs me more than the rest of the filters tonight. I'm gonna give this one a 72. I mean, the locations are nice, but the filtering on it just ruins it. The song I will give a 77. It's a nice song. I don't necessarily hear the disconnect in the vocals, but I can see where it could be considered.
I'll give the PV a 60. It doesn't look good, and I don't think it's interesting. The song, I'll give a 74. It's got a catchy chorus, but it's very flat, and I think just the energy is, yeah, flat. So that's a Niji no Conquistador jump. Next up, You'll Melt More, no My Boy.
Talk about a flat PV.
Yeah. This is a PV where the four members of Udamedema are lying down in a white room and looking up, and that's it.
Yep.
And there's camera shots, there's camera movement, but the members literally do not move. So this was
Nope.
the easiest PV shoot of their lives.
They put the camera on a crane, focused it on their faces, and that's it.
Yep. There's
There,
not much we can say other than
no,
that.
there's a few like formation changes where they move closer together.
Right, and they'll remove one member so that she can sing the solo shots and the other members do like background vocals and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically it. There's no plot, there's no theme, really.
Nope.
Just very plain and straightforward. But it is shot nicely. I think the editing's cool. It's done in a
Yeah.
very palatable way, in a way that a way to make it as interesting as possible for a very simple idea.
As simple as this video is, I still found myself being engrossed in it for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's a, that's directing, editing, and I actually think the members pull off the theme of the night is emotionless performing, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did that very well.
This song, I can fully agree with that.
Yeah,
The whole straight deadpan dead
yeah.
look that they pulled off in this was, yeah, I felt that.
hmm and it's a very slow, melancholy song, so it
Hmm.
matches the song perfectly, and it sets this tone. It makes me feel cooler, like temperature wise. It just very like reminds me of winter and sad like times and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah, it's an interesting PV for how boring it is. Is I guess the meanest way to put it. It's really well done though.
Yeah, and there is some definite editing and effects in it that are work really well, especially during the bridge, I believe, where they have the circle that surrounds them, and then it zooms in
Right.
with them around themselves.
hmm Yeah. It's just
So
like
it,
a crop circle.
yeah, so it's definitely not a fully, you know, static PV. There's definitely some good movement in it.
Right. This is the directing is really good. They might not have had the most crazy, innovative, brand new idea ever, but they executed on what that simple idea was, and they did it very well.
Yeah, and Unimeta mode definitely does the melancholy
Yeah,
very well.
yeah, they do. The song is, very it's perfect for this PV. It's subtle. It's got a very haunting melody. It fits visually and with the song. It's kind of dramatic in a very subtle way. It's not in your face about it, but the melody is very dramatic to me. Like it's packed with emotions while it's not sang with a lot of emotions, but it packs a punch. It's just an emotional song for how flat they sing it. It's kind of beautiful in a way.
I wouldn't say it's flat. They have emotion in there, but it's the choice of emotion that they do.
Right. It just feels empty, like just sadness, like
Yeah,
wallowing in sadness is the approach they took to singing it, and they just pulled it off amazingly. And I never really compliment You'll Melt More's singing because they're not very good singers, but here they hide that very well, and whatever they do is perfect for the song.
yeah, yeah. They definitely. Well, I think that's part of the issue is they try to do more lively stuff in some of their stuff, and for lively in Japan, it means higher pitch,
Right.
and here they're not really doing that.
Right.
So I think it works better with their vocals, with their voices.
hmm But then again, I wouldn't want them to just do stuff like this all the time.
No,
I want like Moi Moi. We love Moi Moi. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. That is a beautiful dumb thing. We
yeah,
want stuff like that, and if you can throw in stuff like this every now and then, it's pretty great. So, yeah.
yeah,
Like you could probably say this is a ballad, but it feels more than that. It's got more depth.
yeah.
And
I don't know. I always associate ballad with like slow love songs,
right, and like
and
acoustic
this,
instrumentals.
yeah, well, not necessarily, but yeah, and this is doesn't feel like a love song.
Right.
This feels like somebody wallowing in depression.
Mhm. Yeah. It's like the girl lost her lover and
And
they're like, "You're
it's,
forever my boy."
yeah, and she's sitting in the bathtub with a razor
Yeah. Ugh.
type feel to it.
Right. And the images don't really invoke like really dark
Anything.
thoughts. but it's just yeah, it's just a really sad song that's like really appropriate. It's not like tasteless sadness, you know?
Yeah, and the imagery doesn't evoke anything,
Right. It's just empty.
so you can put whatever imagery you want in there,
Yeah, you can kind of make it fit a narrative that like however you want it to fit.
which I think works really well with this song.
Yeah. And just the I think the concept is just emptiness and whatever that's feeling or, you know, your mind. It's just yeah, everything works here. I think it's pretty great. All
Yeah.
right. Anything else?
No.
All right, rate it.
Um, I actually found myself really liking this.
Same here.
I'm gonna give this song an 82, and I'm gonna give the PV an 80.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'll give the song a 84. It's actually pretty great, and um, I'm I could probably go higher, but I'm worried that if I listen to this song too much, I'm gonna start to turn on it because it isn't really my kind of thing. I like energy, I like up tempo stuff. I'm really never in the mood for songs like this, but this is really well done, and yeah, maybe I'll go 85. But yeah, it's a beautiful song, and it's not your typical Unametamo, so it's different and interesting. Give the PV a 78. It's definitely shot beautifully, and the concept is executed perfectly, but it does lack certain visual intrigue, but like it's beautifully done for sure. But like repeat views, not sure about that. But yeah, so that's Unametamo, ain't no my boy. Next up, NGT 48 Seishun Doke. Tofu Mento remix by Tofu Beats. So Tofu Beats remixed their first single Seishun Doke.
So he remixed the song or the video?
The song.
Uh,
I mean, the
because
video reflects the remixing, which is cool.
yeah, okay,
There's like stop, rewind, play that
yeah.
thing over again, over and over again. Like it's neat. I think it's a interesting take on the typical backstage footage. Here's like 10 hours of backstage footage, you know, compressed into 5 minutes. Here you go. Good lazy shit. At least there's some kind of editing work that is kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
So,
I like this really cute scene. Let's repeat it.
yeah. And it's not so much like you get to see it 10 times, it's more so like just adding effect, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know me, I'm not a big not no, sorry. Not you know me. Look, you know me, I don't like behind the scenes footage in my PVs. I think that's just lazy bonus content stuff that you could just throw into a DVD of a single and call it a day. It shouldn't be anything official, which this really isn't the official thing. What says official in parentheses, but it's not the actual single, so it's like whatever. But yeah, it's
No.
not my thing. Backstage footage, not my thing. Especially for a group I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about NGT.
Yeah, I know Nakai Rika and Kitahara Kashiwagi. That's it.
I know more about STU than I do
Oh,
NGT.
Ogino Yuka. That's four members of NGT I know. So
But I'm not even sure this is really backstage footage because they're not actually performing.
right, right.
This is all promotional footage
It's
for
like
the
behind the scenes. It's just hey,
yeah.
them goofing off in between gigs and stuff and eating and whatever. So
Well, and going to HMV or not HMV Tower
Tower,
Records.
yeah, doing events and stuff.
Yeah, and eating.
Yep, a lot of eating, takoyaki and stuff like that. So yeah, it's okay. It's a better one of those PVs, I guess,
Yeah.
because I'm not a big fan. of
Unfortunately, yeah.
behind the scenes.
Unfortunately, this type of stuff I'm not a huge fan of because, well, I've seen it all before.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So
I've watched all of this stuff with Boboclo and a few other groups. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's all the same. They
it's the
stand
same thing. You
around
just
and
like replace the members, right?
yeah,
Basically, but they'll just do the same thing.
pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about the song real quick. It is a remix by Tofu Beats, and I was pleasantly surprised by the remix work. I'm really not into Tofu Beats. They seem to be like the hot new shit, or hot shit, I guess. I hear them mention quite a bit. I don't know if it's a dude or a band or multiple people, or lady. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not
It's a
really.
dude, I think.
I don't know what it is, but I listen to their stuff. Not a big fan, but this works for me. It's not in your face about it being a remix. It's just sounds different from what you would get from regular AKS instrumentals, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah,
What a difference that makes.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just a dude.
Yeah, but
Um,
this remix is proof that AKS instrumentals, when they get as plain as possible, it is quite vastly inferior to actually, people who spend a lot of time thinking about melodies and instruments,
yeah,
not trying to pump out 100 songs a year. That's that's AKS's issue with their instrumentals for me.
yeah. I'm still not real hot on this song,
Yeah.
but I think it's more the vocals,
Oh, dude. Oh
which
man.
are just kind of well, they're typical AKS vocals,
Yeah.
and there's not a whole lot you can do about that with remixing.
No, I mean you basically rip the vocals out of the audio track and put a different instrumental on it. So
Yeah,
but the thing with this song is that they actually have this like speaking rapping part,
yeah,
which happens in the verse and stuff, and that happens in the original too. And it's kind of a interesting song. It's definitely the most interesting song I heard by an AKS group in a while. So I went back and listened to the original, and I've grown into a huge fan of it. And this remix helped.
yeah. I guess I'd have to go listen to the original.
Yeah, like the chorus is undeniably catchy. It's kind of lacking in energy, but the melody's there. It's catchy. It leaves an impression, and then like the weird speaking rapping part is super odd, but it sort of makes sense in like this Nogizaka sounding song. It's kind of hilarious how it works. It's amazing how it works for me. I don't know how, but it did.
Hmm.
Like when I first heard it, I thought it sounded like a Nogizaka song. Then I paid attention. And I was like, oh, this is a little deeper than just the typical Nogizaka song. So I quite enjoyed it.
I think part of the problem I have also with it is the fact that a lot of the audio from the uh, behind the scenes,
It makes it in.
whatever,
Yeah.
yeah, makes it in.
I would think in the actual single that you can buy and listen to, it won't have that, but it does play a factor here.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of distracting from the
I
song.
would suggest you go listen to the original. I think I it might turn out to be one of the things that I missed that might end up in my end of the year awards. It's grown on me quite a bit. So
That would be surprising.
yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by this. NGT is officially on my radar now because of this. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I have not paid any attention to NGT
Hmm.
because,
Same.
well, I haven't, but I've paid more attention to STU than I have NGT.
Hmm.
And that's only been like a couple members of STU, so
Yeah. Already, like considering how boring STU's single was or song was,
well,
this is like infinitely better already for me. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm listening to the original now. Yeah,
It
it's definitely better than the STU song that was
it
on
sounds like a
whatever.
it sounds like a Nogizaka song with a little more personality to me.
Uh,
A little more pep.
yeah, it's definitely got more energy in it.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No.
Rate it.
Hmm. Hmm. I'll give the video a 65. I'm just not, this type of footage doesn't do it for me. And I don't know any of the members. There, I think I saw one shot with Kashiwagi that I recognized her in,
Yep.
and that was it. So, the song, I give it a 75. I'm still kind of in the middle on this one.
I'll give the PV a 70. It's okay. It's behind the scenes footage that I don't really care about. I'll give the song an 83. I like it a lot. I think it's catchy. Um, Similar in feel to like Green Flash, but with remixed instrumentals. So I like Green
Wow.
Flash quite a bit. So yeah, it's totally up my alley. It's a NGT 48 Seishun Doke Tofu Mento remix by Tofu Beats.
Did
Next.
you
Uh huh.
did you ever listen to "Come On Honey" by Hitomi from TGS?
No, I don't think so.
Because yeah, that's a Tofu Beat song,
Oh, okay, I'll check it out. I like
and
Hitomi, so.
I think he's done a few other TGS songs too.
Oh, really? Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Next up, Callme. One time. Only one
Uh,
time.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd bother to call him at all.
You don't want to call him.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I want to call them either. This is a typically a synth pop group. I think that's what they've been since they debuted.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
And synth pop is probably not something I'm into all the time. Um, if it goes too far into the electro side, I kind of tune out. I think Tokyo Girl Style right now struck a perfect balance for me personally of combining pop, R&B, and synth electro. This I think leans a little too far into the electro synth.
This is very Perfume. Let's just
Yeah,
face it. This
it's
is very
I,
Perfume.
I think it's Perfume with little more of a western sound. I think Perfume still has a very specific perfumey sound. This sounds almost like something you hear in the Billboard Top 100.
Okay, I'll have to go with you on that one because I
Well,
don't listen to the radio.
maybe because I feel like this is more generic and lacks a little. It doesn't lack that perfumish like perfume. Actually, I listen to and I go, okay, that sounds like Perfume because that's probably partially due to Nakata Yasutaka. I'm not a huge fan of his work, and this seems very straightforward and standard and something someone could come up with and
Yeah.
do a Billboard Top 100 thing and end up on the list.
I'm curious to see what the rest of the song is like.
I bet it's very much the same
Uh,
thing.
I'm sure it's very similar, but there is a little bit of a breakdown in the bridge.
That's probably the most interesting part where the piano came in, right?
Yeah.
It's like a jazzy breakdown. Like that's cool. That's really cool. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure that makes for a good song overall
No.
because I don't give a shit about any of the melodies that they're singing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not hot on this song at all. It's a little too. I can't say auto tuned, but just the
Oh,
voices
I mean, definitely for sure.
are. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily auto tune, but there's definitely some processing on the vocals that I just make them sound lifeless to me.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely lacking energy.
the I'm not into that whole perfume style dancing necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
and this dance definitely doesn't really pull me in.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, this song just it doesn't make me want to get up and dance. It doesn't make me want to sing along with it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely not. Yeah,
So
pretty whatever on this. The PV
yeah,
takes place in a dungeon or something. I don't know.
yeah, there's like a maintenance tunnel for a subway or something.
Yeah, it's like a closet where you put your unneeded shit. And yeah, they're performing around light tubes, and the most interesting part I would say is where they have glow in the dark paint splashed on them.
And even that part, oh dang it! Even the painting I really don't like. It's it's too haphazard. It's too just kind of here. We're gonna dip this in a brush and fling it on you.
Yeah,
For me, there's no real artistic value to it.
yeah, it's not like very planned. It's just, hey, let's just do this.
Yeah, I think the more interesting aspect of the paint was actually the flowers than the members.
That's sad that the inanimate object is more interesting than members.
I think that the paint looked more interesting on that.
Yeah,
So
it's more artistic. Yeah,
I don't know what to say. You know?
yeah. God, I can't get invested in this at all. I don't know if it's because it's a short version. It's 2.5 minutes long, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, the song is really meh, and the PV is just as meh for me.
I guess the arms are kind of cool, but there's really not enough of that in the video.
The glow in the dark paint arms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those look a little more interesting than the faces.
yeah, it doesn't happen very much though.
Yeah, so it's kind of whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I'm done talking about this.
Isn't this supposed to be uh, the crowdsourced group?
No,
Okay.
that's no tall, which Rayo
Oh,
brings
right,
up in
right.
chat. No, I didn't say no tall, Rayo. I think I said not at all. But yeah, I can't get into this at all. You want to
Yeah.
rate it?
Uh, I don't even know what to rate this one. It's so unimpressive. I'll give them both a 65 because yeah, I have no interest in it.
Yeah, I'll give a PV a 67. It's shot nicely. Location's boring. I don't think the concept is interesting. I think the most interesting part is probably the paint and maybe the flashlight parts, but it fucking lacks personality and flat, and I can't get invested into it. Song 64. It's not catchy. Um, and I'm not super into synth pop that takes synth pop way too seriously. So that's Callme one time. I won't call, thanks. Next up, Lovely Doll, Yoakemai Nijigasasu. And the award for the most standard sounding idol song of the week goes to Lovely Doll, Yoakemai Nijigasasu. This song is a very typical. This is, by definition, an idol song in the
Yep.
2017 idol song of the year. Not saying it's the best. I'm just saying this is the definition of an idol song in the year 2017.
This is the most idle you can get.
Yep, it's supposed to inspire some sort of motivation, inspiration, but you know it's catchy, but it doesn't really have personality. It doesn't have weight to it. It's just kind of there. Instrumentals are pretty whatever. The melody is pretty whatever, and yeah, it's just kind of there.
It's one of those songs that like subconsciously drives you
Yeah.
but you don't really pay attention to it.
Yeah, it just plays in the background and it's like fine. It's not objectionable. It's just there and you don't have any huge qualms about it other than the fact that it is predictable and safe and all that good stuff that some people like, I guess.
Very typical of Lovely Doll.
Yeah. Is it
From
always like this?
from
I
what
feel like
I've heard, pretty much, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I could see them doing stuff like this all the time, but I feel like I've heard catchier stuff than this. I mean, this song is catchy. Don't get me
Probably.
wrong. I do find this song catchy, but not the catchiest.
They probably have done catchier stuff, but yeah, they do very safe stuff.
Yep. That's nothing wrong with that. That's what's not popular, but it's the safest way. Yeah.
Yeah.
As we say it. Um yeah, not much more to talk about the song. PV, it takes place in some sort of auditorium performance center and there isn't really a storyline. It's just random shots of the members that look like they're struggling and running outside.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it doesn't have a plot or really a theme that makes sense. It's just, hey, just look like you're trying hard and running outside, and the rest is performance shots.
Yeah. Yep. It's got some weird costuming going on in the video. Like, there's one shot where they're dancing in the dark with the lights up in the background, and it looks like they're wearing all the same style of outfit. But then in the lighter shots in the auditorium, they're wearing some really weird outfits. One of them looks like she's wearing some sort of wannabe business suit.
Yeah, I mean, it's very plain black navy. I think it's navy outfits. It's just like either one piece dresses or some kind of two piece thing. Doesn't really stand out. They eventually do switch to what I assume is their actual performance outfits. They look very typical of
Those are better.
yeah, more interesting for sure. And that's when the sun comes out and the members are running towards the sun and they switch to those outfits because, hard work and you know, perseverance.
Make you an idol and
Yep,
stars.
hard work, man. This is
Yeah, at least there's some varying shades of color in their performance outfits.
yeah.
It's not all monotone color.
But other than that, it's a very flat colored PV.
Yeah,
Nothing really pops.
no.
Yeah, it's like
And
amazingly unimpressive but not disappointing.
yeah, it's like, well, it's not imaginative, but it's hard to be.
Super negative about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I could probably be negative about it, but
I mean, if we really nitpick, but nitpicking this is not worth not
yeah,
worth it because it is not trying to do anything super new or it's just like they're just doing the formula, the idol formula, and they're sticking to the book, and they did it well, but yeah, just wow, just lacking in any kind of drama and personality characteristics.
yeah.
So
Not a whole lot of emotion in the faces either.
no, but I feel like at least when they're performing, they look invested. Beboga,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the same. Like this is done correctly, like when they're performing. So anything else on this?
No.
Rate it.
I'll give this song a 75. Yeah, 75. It's an alright catchy song. The PV I'd probably give like a 70. Yeah, probably 70. It's alright, but there's nothing that makes me want to watch it.
Yeah. I'll give the PV a 63. It's shot nicely, but might be one of the most boring PVs I've seen in a while. Just no intrigue. It's it's not from a lack of execution. It's just no ideas, nothing interesting came to the director to make this interesting. So, um, song I'll give a 71. It's got catchy moments, but it's a very standard safe idol song, which you really have to have a really good hook for me to get into it. So, and it's not one of those. Lovely Doll, Yoakamai Niji Sasu. And last but not least, the 10th PV we're going to talk about tonight, Billy Idol, My Way. This is not My Way of The Who or Limp Bizkit. It is Billy Idol's My Way. It
Okay.
is punk rock as fuck.
Billy Idol, registered, trademarked.
Yeah, they are. They trademarked the word idol apparently. So, yeah, they are walking in front of a green screen or pretending to walk in front of a green screen. And as the backgrounds behind them and to the right and left of them move as if they're actually walking in real life. But the green screen provides not a real life setting, but a cartoon drawn setting like their last PV we talked about, which was called I don't remember. Bye Bye. So it is that very cheap looking art that an elementary school kid could draw.
Not me.
I mean, I could probably do that. Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm not an artist,
could.
but I could do it.
I could. My drawing's not that good.
Because it's all shapes. You could draw squares.
I can't draw a straight line.
Well, none of those lines are straight.
Sure they
Well,
are.
no, maybe the sides of the building, but the windows and shit look crooked as fuck.
That's straighter than I could draw.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, it's not anything to write home about. I didn't like the Bye Bye PV because it relied so heavily on the terrible cartoon art. It's okay for one PV. It can be kind of cute for one PV, but now this is two PVs in a row they're using that. And I'm afraid that they're going to go down this rabbit hole of using this as a technique for every PV, and that is disturbing and scary if they go down this rabbit hole. The song has so much energy and personality, and then they are pretending to walk in a green screen set. It's a terrible representation for the song, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't all that impressed with the set. It's very whatever. I kind of wondered why they didn't just do it outside.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, you could have done this on any street in Japan.
Yep.
But I feel like they're trying to play off of like Western U.S. type Arizona, Texas
Yeah.
type thing, where you would probably never find buildings that tall unless you were in one of the major cities, and they're really not.
Yeah.
So
it's got a lot of not question. I guess it is questionable. It's just they've done it before, so I don't question it anymore. But it's just sad to me that they have to do this, and it's just disappointing that this is what they've resorted to.
And the way Ueka walks really annoys me.
Yeah.
I'm offended.
You know, she's got a very what do you call it when your legs are kind of open?
Bow-legged?
Yeah, bow-legged, I guess. She sort of looks like it. Maybe, I don't know. That might be why.
It's a very stereotypical thing.
Yeah. And also, she might be doing that on purpose.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah, because she is a fantastic performer in every sense of the word. So,
I'm sure she's doing it on purpose. That's why
yeah,
I find it. Or that's why I'm offended by it.
yeah.
If she wasn't doing it on purpose, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But no, you could tell because there's a few times where she falls out of it
All right.
in the beginning.
Yeah, I am not a fan of this PV at all. At all. They deserve better than this. And even the members, they look like fucking flushed out. The colors look like crap.
Yeah,
It's,
there's definitely some lighting issues or makeup issues or something there.
and it shouldn't exist because they're in front of a green screen, right? You should be able to
Yeah,
control the lighting. You should be able to control what kind of, you're not outside. You're not fighting the elements. There's no excuse. And it looks like that.
yeah,
That's embarrassing.
yeah. Because I don't think they're filtering it.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's from the lighting or what, but it just looks terrible. Not terrible, but it's not natural. It doesn't look natural at all.
And then I don't know any of their names.
Mm,
So Nozomi,
yeah, bob cut.
yeah, she is the laziest singer I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think she's arguably the worst in terms of performing as an idol because everything she does looks half speed and she's not a very good singer. But people find charm in that. I think that's what people who are Nozomi fans are into. It's sort of that Shimazaki Haruka effect of not doesn't seem like they're trying. Maybe they are. It just they look like they're moving in half speed.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. She's just like she stands out. I'll give her that
yeah,
because she is like very my pace.
yeah. I mean, she's been like that since the dawn of Bis as well. So
And
not
like
a
Ueka
surprise.
and
Yeah, well,
Momo,
she is exactly the opposite of Ika, basically.
yeah, Ueka and Momo are very loud
Yeah,
and very upfront. And I'm
yeah.
actually not too sure that Dell's not right that that is a painted background on scrolls,
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
just because of how unfluid it is.
Yeah,
It's not very fluid, and it's very like, oh wait, they're not far enough along, or we need to draw it out more. So it's like they stop, and then the comet in the background
yeah.
on a stick.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that might be it, but it doesn't make it better. It's
No,
still
no, it doesn't.
it's still lazy to me.
Well, it's not lazy on one guy's part because they had to
Yeah,
paint it all, but
that for sure. But there a lot of hard work went into this. But as a producer, you should never greenlight this.
yeah,
It doesn't look interesting. I mean, it's one thing if half of the PV took place on this and they went outside and like tore down the paper and then went outside and fucked shit up. But that doesn't happen. They're just walking
yeah,
alongside the paper paintings. That's it.
yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. It's
Uh,
the PV did nothing for me except the members. The members were the only thing that I found at all redeeming about the video.
yeah, for sure. Song is Billy Idol's punk rock influenced, up tempo, energetic, pretty catchy. Not their best, I don't think, but I can definitely see myself listening to this.
Yeah, I could see myself listening to this, and I'm not a huge Billy Idol fan. I think they did one other song. I can't remember the name now, but that I enjoyed. But I could definitely see myself listening to this.
Yeah, it's nothing standoutish, but it's good. It's got a good hook.
Yeah,
Anything else?
I think the only thing stand outish for me was Nozomi's complete and utter destruction of her line,
Yep. That's Nozomi quality.
because I couldn't understand a damn thing she said. No, that I think that's it.
All right, rate it.
I'll give this song a 78. I enjoy this song. The PV gets like a 60. If it wasn't for the members, yeah, there would be nothing in this PV.
Yeah. PV I'll give like a 58. It's I don't care for it. It's pretty whatever. I don't think it looks good, even without the background stuff. And it's a recycled concept. They did the same exact concept previously in the previous PV, and I never liked that to begin with. And yeah, not a fan of it. Song I'll give a 77. It's a pretty good Billie Idol song, but not top tier for sure. All right, that's Billy Idol, My Way. So that concludes the show. We talked about everything we need to talk about. Before we end the show, we gotta pick the MVP of the night. So we got 10 PVs to choose from. I think we're gonna be split on this. If I was keeping tabs of what you liked correctly. But I think we ended up in the right place. So, what would be your top two? I think our number
Mm,
two. I think our number ones are the same, but our number two will be completely two or three will be completely different.
hmm. I'm not sure what I'd go for number two.
To me, I think you liked Hanamoyo.
Yeah,
I think that would be your number two,
yeah, probably.
but your number one is
I'd have to go with You'll Know More.
yeah, same. My number two was probably Tsubaki Factory Warate. So I think that's where our split was. So yeah. So I guess we are good with You'll Melt More and No, my boy,
Yeah.
as the winner. All right. So You'll Melt More, you win again. You won with Moi Moi. Now you win with and No, my boy. So if you're part of their management, reach out to us at newschoolkaidan.com. So you can follow me on Twitter at Yoshirect and Draco at Draco60. Don't forget, follow New School Kaidan on Twitter at New School Kaidan. We stream Saturday nights around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, depending on the days. And yeah, at twitch.tv/New School Kaidan and youtube.com/New School Kaidan. Anything else?
No?
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
And later.